Hey guys, so how's it going today? Today I got a quick one, some footage I've been sitting on for a little while from the Arcade Expo back in March of this year, in the middle of March. It's a pretty cool place, the Pinball Museum out in Banning, California. It's a nice collection of pinball and old school arcade games. A lot of cool stuff they got going on at this place. Not open to the public generally, but once a year, they've been doing this for the past 3 years. They'll do the Arcade Expo, open it up, free play on everything, have lots of cool food and drinks, beer, alcohol, vendors, selling, collectibles, and, just lots of cool stuff going on at this place. So when I first got here, I just kind of did a walkthrough of all the arcade stuff. I also did the pinball walkthrough as well. I might upload that later. But here we got Arcade Expo Kong Off machine. Pretty cool stuff. Last year I saw Billy Mitchell do some things playing this game. All the versus games. So we'll walk through. I'll point out some games. Just wanted to give you guys a general idea of the awesomeness of this place if you're ever out in California when they put this on. Check this out. Space Ace. Awesome. But yeah, like I was saying, I just wanted to share this footage. I've been sitting on it for a while. Just wanted to have you guys peep it out. It's not, the most professionally shot footage, but I thought it was pretty awesome just to walk through here and see the collection of stuff that they got. Domino Man, Arch Rivals, Budweiser Tapper, the original, before they changed it to Root Beer Tapper. What? But just walking through this place, it's memory lane for those of us who grew up in the arcades back in the day. We still have arcades, yes, but not the way we used to. We used to have an arcade in every mall. You had setups and strip malls that were arcades. Every liquor store, convenience store had multiple arcade machines. The laundry mat had arcade machines. Bars, restaurants, everywhere had arcade machines. You just don't see that anymore. You have to go to specialty places for that. There's not too many arcades anymore. It's just such a shame. They still make arcade games. This one, oh my God, Snow Brothers. So many fond memories. Those of you guys who follow me know I'm in love with Snow Brothers. Such an awesome game. Used to play that at 7-Eleven down the street from my house when I was a lot younger. Plugged a lot of quarters in that machine. Ate a lot of Big Bite hot dogs and Slurpees. What? So moving on, this place, they do kind of have a selection of everything once you're really looking at this. Over here, they've got a lot of rhythm games, some Japanese games that weren't released out here, and then some other special stuff. Like, for example, one of my other favorites, Bad Dudes vs. Dragon Ninja. Such an awesome game, in my opinion anyway. Try to play it here with one hand while recording. It ain't happening. This game's got to be played with two hands. What am I thinking? But still, I love this game in the arcade. And just to be able to play these games in the original hardware just trumps any emulation, Raspberry Pi, PC emulation, re-releases on consoles, on Steam or anything like that. You have a connection with these machines if you grew up with them. Kung Fu Master, what? Your love, Sylvia, is in custody now. If you want to save your dear Sylvia's life, come to the Devil's Temple. Let's do this. This game was so fun, especially on the NES back in the day. Just seeing games like this that you'd played in the arcade being released on a home console. Yeah, you weren't getting the same graphics, but it was still awesome to not have to pump quarters into a machine. You could easily go to an arcade with a pocket full of quarters, a couple bucks or $5, and just drop that in no time. A lot of games here like this, Chiller. I don't think I've ever seen this game in the arcade. You get a little crossbow, a little horror action. Pretty cool stuff. Lots of games that I've never seen before. Most of these games all work too. They only had a handful that were out of order or that they wound up fixing and turning on later on in the night. And as you see, they kind of have a lot of this stuff separated. There's some really old stuff that they had from the 70s and 80s. They even had some stuff from way back in the 60s and 50s that were essentially not what we would think of as arcade machines, but essentially, I guess back in the day, you would consider it, you know, an arcade game, though not, you know, using the same kind of technology, like similar stuff to that, where it's not really a display. It's more of an arcade box with some kind of mechanisms in there. And this one right here is taking a break because she's out of order. An old hockey game that's like Pong. What? I'm not sure what this game was, but it looked like it cost like 10 cents to play and you had to shovel some stuff out of there. I'm not sure. This one wasn't functioning at the time, but it was the previous year, and then I think they fixed it the next day. And what do we got right here? Is this Sunset Riders? Yes, it is. Such a great arcade game as well. And this was released on the Super Nintendo. It just, to me, it brought like home arcade gaming to the whole next level. You know, really Street Fighter 2 did that, but just seeing those releases was just so amazing. Then we got our Star Wars Trilogy arcade game. So this game was pretty awesome as well. Got Area 51, Carnival. Lots of cool, crazy games. Like I said, a lot of stuff I'd never seen before. We got the shooters, some little racing games that weren't turned on yet. This was pretty early. This was right when they opened. Later on in the day, this place got packed. Over the whole weekend, it was just crazy the amount of people that were in here. Especially, you know, once it kind of cooled down and it got dark, it was just so many people in there with their kids and everything. Obviously, I went with my kids and my wife. SNK's POW. This was another game that I really loved back in the day. I think I stopped mostly at the arcade games that I had that connection to, that I remembered just playing the crap out of in the arcade. And I don't remember the exact cost of getting into this expo. I don't think it was outrageous or anything. You know, you weren't paying Comic-Con prices or anything like that. But it was well worth whatever the entry fee was. It might have been like 20, 30 bucks. I don't remember for sure. But definitely a great time. And now, you know, this was one half of the arcade area. And this was the other end of it. You know, it's quite a bit of space they had just for arcade machines. The opposite side of the warehouse was all pinball, which they had even more pinball games than they did arcade games. Depending upon how people, receive this video, you know, I might wind up doing the pinball video as well. With Tubin. Tubin was an awesome game. Loved that back in the day as well. Here's my daughter wandering around playing some games. As you see, we all posed in the beginning with Walter Day, which, you know, I love that dude. I've talked to him a few times over the years. You know, you'd seen him in a few of those movies. The King of Kong, Fistful of Quarters, Nibbler. You know, there's been a handful of movies that he's been in that highlight arcade games and competitions and whatnot, or the Twin Galaxies, you know, record keeping and all that kind of stuff. But really awesome dude, real humble and just a nice guy to talk to. Joust, we got our classics, our 80s classics. What do we got right here? Smash TV. Really awesome game, especially in the arcade. The home console versions were pretty sick too, but the arcade version, you had those twin sticks to move around and shoot in all directions. Made it a lot easier to play versus the home versions. The home versions were really cool too. What do we got here? Q*bert. Very simple game, but gets pretty hectic. Three Stooges. I think Three Stooges is a really unique arcade game that not a lot of people know about or have played. It's a pretty cool game. Zybots. And then we got Paperboy. Paperboy, they had these little plaques with all the original developers' autographs on them, which I thought was really cool. They had a few machines like this. Some Pinball as well that had autographs from developers or famous people that were, involved in it. Like there was like a WrestleMania game that had Hulk Hogan's signature on the machine. Overall, really cool stuff, I think. Road Blasters. I wish that game was working. I love playing that game back in the day. We got our Centipede, Millipede games, Samurai, and I believe we got Shinobi right here. Shinobi was so awesome in the arcade. Also awesome on the Sega Genesis, but man, the arcade game was just sick. And coming around this corner, a handful of awesome games as well. I think right here we got Cabal, which Blood Brothers was the spiritual successor to this game. Moon Cresta. And one of my favorites, I really love this game, Wonder Boy. Wonder Boy was just so sick back in the day. In the arcade, on the Sega Master System. Just a really cool game. Really cool game. And this was about it. Around the corner over here, we did have a few other games. I believe we'll see in a moment, like The Simpsons. In the corner, there was the game Top Skater, which I really loved back in the day. I'm a big boy, and Top Skater, you're standing on a skateboard and manipulating, with your feet to do tricks and whatnot. It was a Sega game. I remember just dumping so much money in that game, and being a big boy, it's crazy. They had the game back on later in the day at this expo, and I was just killing it. I had these teenagers that couldn't figure the game out, and I was just slaughtering it. Just thought it was so awesome playing it. But that was it. Just wanted to give you guys a nice little quick tour of this. Like I said, sat on this footage for a while. Just figured, you know what? I don't have anything to upload tomorrow. It's my daughter's birthday, so I don't, I got to spend time with her and go out and do some things. And I figured, hey, let me throw this out there, see what you guys think. Got a lot more footage. If you like it, I can upload. So let me know. Smash that like button. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. I've got a lot of cool stuff coming up. If you want to help a brother out, you can always grab one of the Mad Little Pixel Boom t-shirts. Link is in the description. If not, it's cool too. Just keep watching my videos. Appreciate it, guys. Catch y'all next time. Boom!